Okay, we have landed in Santorini via Athens and a wonderful lunch, and we're headed to our hotel. We've checked in. This is the view. It's the Hotel Ilium. We have one of these terraces, and we are here, our very first night. Anna, hello. And just an amazing view. Look at that. Oh my goodness. As if we didn't have enough to eat today after a wonderful lunch. Anna, what was the neighborhood where we had the lunch?
Porto Rafti.
Porto Rafti, which is a suburb of
Athens, by the beach.
By the beach. And I have photographs, but I didn't take any video. But we're hungry again. The video won't do it justice, but this is it. Tuesday morning, Santorini. Cruise ship. And a wedding going on. Oh, I see the bride. Look how pretty. Here's the wedding. I can't tell you how many outfits there have been. This must be the third or fourth so far. Breakfast the first day with friends of Chris and Anna. Off to Eros Beach.
It's very unique.
And you see dirt roads, more dirt roads. You'll see a lot of dirt bikes. Eros Beach. Lesser known to tourists. Closer look at some of the rock formations as we take a little stroll along the beach. A little Greek salad for lunch. This is a new museum, the Lost Atlantis Experience. They say that Santorini might have been the site of Atlantis. Tuesday night, and we're headed to the famous Franco's Bar. A crowded part of town, walking up to Fira.
So this is like the main driving.
Wow.
And you'll see Franco's.
What am I looking for? Oh. All right, let's just get a panorama around Franco's Bar.
We apologize for, the nasty views.
Substandard people.
Yeah, I don't know.
The volcano doesn't go off. If it goes off, then why did we listen?
You can move the umbrella if it's in the way.
No, it's not.
The thing to do in Santorini, collect around sunset, find a good space, and watch. This is the owner of Franco's.
Imagine.
There are more places in Greece that I've seen like this. Nowhere else.
Δεν τους ξαναδεί από τότε, αλλά σε 62
Θα δεις, παρόλο που έχουμε αλλάξει θα τις αναγνωρίσεις.
Σίγουρα.
Κάτι θα σου θυμίσει την κάθε μία. Θα το δεις. Δηλαδή τα βασικά θα
Χριστό.
Okay, this restaurant is literally called The Fish, and it's on both sides of the road, and we took the smallest roads to get here.
Fish and seafood.
So this is what we look at. We're interviewing the fish.
Μεγάλο θέλετε? Εδώ. Το παλεύετε?
Για δομές.
Παναγία μου.
Gotta be hungry for that.
It's like mine. Huge fish. Στο ψαρασκάρι.
Καλλιεργημένα. Homemade.
That's 7 appetizers to start.
And now, nothing.
Now we rest. The fish has arrived.
Έχουμε μάστορα.
Ah,
Στήσ' το εδώ, να σου πω. Take the salad away, take all of this away.
we're gonna hold the
It's
salad,
going to
aren't
come
we?
here.
Yeah, we're gonna keep the
You have
salad.
a chainsaw?
Oh, my goodness.
Ήρθε το φωτάκι.
Αυτό δεν δίνεται σαν να
Και εγώ είμαι από νησί.
Και μετά φεύγουν τα κοκαλάκια μου.
Άμα τα πέρα μεγάλο ψάρι. Πώς το κεφάλι, το φάτε τα
Wednesday. And off to the beach. Wednesday. Another day, another beach. This is the Black Sand Beach. Put on a lot of sunscreen here. Walked across the sand, which is no mean feat because they're actually little rocks. We got to this church. Taking the beach from that grotto area. Going to dinner in Exogona, and you see where it says Taverna? That's first. The sunset. And look at this. This is where we're headed. Thursday morning at the Akrotiri, which is similar to Pompeii, and we have to move because we just arrived at the same time as a tour bus.
See more of strange exotic animals. And in front of all of them, now we're going to go over there. It's a high building with 3 floors. And from here, we're going to walk north volcanic ash and supported that helpful material.
Preserved it.
Very good, better of some villages and pieces of pottery 1,000 years later in the historic period. So all of them are original. And look at those that are behind, incorporated in the wall.
Floors had slate. We're taking a quick walk down to Red Beach, which had an earthquake and an avalanche last year, and they said it's still unstable. So we're not staying, we're just looking. Another nice afternoon on the beach, but look at this. If you park your car for just a little while, it gets covered with sand. Thursday night before dinner, we're seeing Mari and Alex's house in Pyros. So we're walking up now because cars cannot go only so far. So tell us.
So this property here
Yeah.
belongs to our friend Marie, who's crawling the stairs in black.
Pit, they call it. You just go through
And
endless
that
money.
staircase right over there was
Ah.
what's left of the house that was destroyed in 1953.
Goodness
Be careful
gracious.
there, Mr. Chris.
Marie's family is from Santorini. And her grandfather or great-grandfather owned this property.
And this is across the street. The whole town fell. Wow. I wouldn't even know how you start to rebuild. Apparently supplies have to be brought up by donkeys. Wow. All right. Well, next time we're here, maybe there'll be a house. Next stop, the castle or the church. It's actually a hotel. And the taxi is waiting outside.
The highest point in the island.
Thank God.
Oh, upcoming sunset. Oh, nice view. Well, a fabulous dinner. Dessert is done. Very good. Typical breakfast in a beautiful setting. I'm going to show you the hotel, and our room is right there. Morning in Fira, trying to create our own parking space because the parking lot is totally full. By George, I think we've got it. Great team effort. Onward.
Yeah.
This museum holds some of the murals of the ruins that we saw yesterday. We're very excited. So this is essentially the panorama of what we saw yesterday. Portable oven.
Inside.
Look how bright the colors were in these frescoes. that were found in Akrotiri. Where you could put individual stems so that the flowers stay up straight. The blue monkeys. The fragments and then filling in.
You know what is the reason?
Leaving our self-made spot Friday night. And so we did so well with creating our own parking spot this afternoon, but we're paying for parking now. We did all right though. Looking for the Catch Bar
It's right
to watch the sunset.
here.
Yeah, but
Oh, there it is.
There's the catch.
We're in the northern part of the island.
That's where we had lunch with pizza with
You just take a boat home.
Dimitris the last time.
yes.
Oh,
Take a boat home.
beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
How's this built into the wall?
Would you like me to get a picture of the two of you sitting on this lovely begonia?
Polished marble. Cash Bar to see the sunset, and Morristown is actually here. And we're going to see another amazing sunset at the Catch Bar.
Yeah, sure.
Waiting for sunset. Video of this venue. So we went downstairs for the meal itself. We received a free taste of Mesika, which
is 4.1 miles. Chios is.
Anna says has medicinal
Even closer. You can
properties.
swim to Turkey.
You can swim to Turkey.
Oh, wow.
We've had just an absolute feast.
And it has
the
these
best
medicinal properties that
fish,
they're now
grilled
just
fish I've ever
studying.
had. Fireworks. The day before we fly to
Day
Athens,
at the beach.
and we went back to Chris's favorite beach. We just want to point out the pine trees here are unusual. They look like cell phone towers, but they are pine trees. And that's because there's no snow, Richie says.
Point upwards. Yeah.
Let's see how beautiful the beach is. And we're just taking a little walk. Saturday night, Santorini. We leave tomorrow for Athens. Lovely trip.
He's from the north of Athens. I don't know.
Okay, I would say we're in trouble. Chris is ordering the appetizers. How many for four? At least 7.
Λες τίποτα άλλο για να δοκιμάσουμε πριν καραφιάσουν τελείως?
Sunday. We leave today for Athens. Chris's usual breakfast.
That's my life, Chris.
Lunch on our last day at this beautiful hotel in
Oh, we
Santorini.
gotta remember this.
And just want to vista one more time. Wonderful time. Santorini Airport. No
Underwhelming.
seats to be had. Oh my God. And we have about, I guess, about 40 minutes before we board.
LaGuardia is
Landing
better.
at Athens Airport, taking the subway or the metro into town to our hotel. Half-hour wait on the subway, and it should be about an hour before we get off, and our hotel is supposedly right there. We're at our hotel in Athens. It's a Marriott, and it is so elegant, and we're going to have a quick bite. It is about 9:30 at night, but you cannot beat that view. This is the palace.
And then
This is
beyond
the
the
Olympic
palace,
Stadium, 1912-ish. Okay. Pan. Metropolis. To the left, it's Lycabettus Hill. And it is what?
The highest point in Athens.
Ah.
You have more time in Athens.
We've had a wonderful dinner. Now I think that Chris is ordering a dessert about 6:30. We're going to have a day of touring. And we have breakfast with a view. Off to a day tour starting in Corinth on Monday. Look all of those streets. This is the Corinth Canal crossing. Made in the 1800s? If I remember correctly? Okay.
Corinth.
First the Isthmus,
Okay.
then Mycenae,
Yes.
which is there,
Yeah.
then Nafplio,
Okay.
then the ancient theater of Epidaurus,
Yeah.
then back.
Excellence of Corinth.
I don't have any memory.
Look how fine the features. This is the museum at Corinth, and you have a lot of the antiquities here. When you see that the statues have lost their heads, there was a big burglary in 1990 where they stole hundreds of the antiquities here, bound and gagged the guard, and stole the money that were to be used for the salaries of the people here. They did catch them in Miami eventually. Bones. Very early artifacts, 7th century. More than likely houses, and the castle is on the top of the hill. This is the temple of Apollo.
Oh, okay.
Aries.
This is where St. Paul preached. And the sign on the wall there says Bema. So that's the main street. Corinth town. These are presumed to be shops. And Anna was saying an example of a Corinthian column capital, which is a lot more ornate. Now we're at the Mycenaean excavations. And we're going to see the tomb of Agamemnon. Notice the lions at the entry of the gates. This is the Circle A grave. Looks pretty steep and stony to me. So these are the temples on top of the hill. It took a very long walk, essentially from the bottom of the hill. Mycenaean Museum. Looks like puppets. These are fabulous. After all that climbing, about 100 feet away is the tomb of Agamemnon. Navigating these pretty slippery stones, we enter the gate, and oh my God, this is some spectacle. And they found a lot of artifacts here, apparently. It's hard to describe how big this is. This is the fruit region. There are a lot of orange trees, grape vines, and all sorts of things.
This is
Number one.
Do you have a coin?
Who?
Give it to her. It's a prison. I have a command to get the sailboat in the picture. We just had a wonderful lunch in Nafplio. Nafplio. Okay, I got to get my Greek down. All right, and we're just taking a little.
Very wealthy town. During the time of the Ottomans, it was a great shipping port, and the islands and towns like this in the Peloponnese were much bigger and wealthier than Athens.
Uh-oh. We've been summoned. Obviously, there's flooding in this part of town. Epidabros, which is the medical center
Dedicated to Aeschylus,
god of medicine.
god of medicine, and the ancients believed that the arts were healing. The ancients believed the arts were healing.
So the first art therapists,
That's right.
among other things. Here.
Amazing view.
That is amazing. So we're here at the stage. We could have walked all the way up those stairs in the heat to get on the top, It would be hard. But this is extraordinary. And Anna said that there's Shakespeare often performed here.
And the phenomenon of this theater is that the acoustics cannot be replicated anywhere in the world. If you stand at center stage and speak in a normal voice, the top row can hear you, and we're just about to demonstrate that.
You can actually hear Chris. Anna and I are up at the mezzanine. You see Richie in the black shirt, seated still in the orchestra. We're at the theater, but there are temples.
Stadium.
The stadium, and there are temples of Apollo.
And Artemis.
And Artemis, and with a sacred entrance somewhere. After a full day of touring, Richie and I are taking it easy. We're eating in the hotel. Richie's having a club sandwich, and I'm having a bowl of soup. And it's very pleasant.
We brought our piano player with us tonight. A night off.
This is for Sheila. I love you much too much. The song she's been looking for on the internet.
I can't say it in Greek, but in Italian it would be something like Ti amo molto molto.
And in Yiddish, it's
Oi.
Tuesday breakfast. I just want to show you where we're eating.
McDonald's.
Nice view. Take the definitive view from our hotel. Okay, so this is the first part. That has the tomb of the unknown soldier, and they change guards once an hour every hour. Oh.
Sigma Square, whatever.
Sigma Square. Oh, look at that. Never gets old. And the rest of Athens. And then our restaurant. Okay, so this is Wednesday morning. Archaeological Museum. I am really looking forward to this. The museum doesn't open till 12:30 and it's 11. We didn't realize that on Tuesday, so we're going to take a quick look in the heavy street art. The museum isn't open yet. We're in this heavy street art area, which Chris has warned us about. We didn't get into the heavy street art area. That's the university area.
Okay, crush. That in there.
The tanks came across the street. He was across the street. He was there. And he was here during the 73 uprising.
School of University of Polytechnic.
Okay, now we found this heavy street art area and heavy street art.
And every worker.
People lying in that truck.
They're selling vegetables.
Selling vegetables. This was the door that they knocked down in the 70s during the revolution where 40 people died. In the Archaeological Museum, Chris has very specific things for us to see, which we will see.
Masks and the gold hilted sword.
Amazing masks. Mechanism of Antikythera.
That's a monster.
Tritonus. Theater masks. The museum is a continuation of what we saw in Fira. Here are the famous frescoes of the two boxes and the antelope.
And the horse with the swallows.
Oh, nice.
Oh, excuse me, the spring lilies with the swallows.
Chris and his dad and his stepmom and Anna and the beautiful tour of the Acropolis. Prepare to walk. The Acropolis Museum even has glass sidewalks so you could see the ruins underneath. Ruins of the city of Athens. The interesting thing about the museum?
The museum is exactly parallels the Parthenon. So if you look at the orientation of the museum as we will go further up, it parallels the Parthenon, and one of the top floors is exactly the dimensions of the Parthenon and replicated with the atriums and
the view from the third floor.
Breathtaking.
Yes.
The Acropolis, automatically your mind comes to the Athenian Acropolis. In other words, Acropolis is the whole natural solid rock. what's
This
going
crazy
on.
centaur.
You see those creatures that are
The 6 caryatids, of which there are only 5 in Greece because the 6th one, British Museum. To walk up to the Acropolis, I'm not sure you can see it, but there are mosaics. She said this is a 2-mile pedestrian walk. A pedestrian zone that was created by Melinda Mercuri, the residential houses. Not a bad neighborhood.
now they don't allow them anymore because the weight of the wheels can crush the stones.
This was created by an architect about 50 years ago. Walking up to the Acropolis, one must be careful. These are incredibly slippery, but you can always hold the handrail. Just get the full vista on this side.
This is a planetarium observatory. They are watching the stars from there. Okay, you see the building? And then you see another side.
Watch this column. She'll explain it, I'm sure.
Okay.
Let's see how this column is displaced.
Yes.
From the blast.
Oh.
Δεν είναι σπίσει για την κολόνα που την πούλησε. Η έκρηξη.
Πολλές κολόνες.
That flag has a story behind it. During the Nazi occupation of Greece, 2 Greek citizens climbed up the side of this mountain and replaced the swastika flag with the Greek flag in the dead of night. I just want to point out some of the sculptures that are still on the Parthenon side that these guys climbed up to plant that flag. There are caryatids that we saw in the museum. So the one truck is the army. They're here to take down the flag every night. That's the flag that replaced the swastika flag. And one last look.
Houses.
Yes.
And they renovate, they refurbish inside.
La Placa.
They don't touch the facade outside.
Russian Orthodox Church.
Ah, we are at By the Glass. Okay, Dimitri and Coriolena is here, ready to order. Tapas dinner. We are now 5 minutes before the changing of the guard. From breakfast on Wednesday as we head up to Delphi this morning. Half-hour drive from Athens. We are now at Delphi. This looks like the museum, but we're looking to how to get to the site itself. Delphi, full with steps. Getting closer. There it is. That, my friends, is the belly button of the earth. It's the Athenian treasury where they stored all their offerings. Delphi. An interesting old aqueduct. Goes all the way up. So there's writing on the rocks.
And I can make out tu avro, whatever that means.
The museum at Delphi, we had a little contretemps trying to get somebody a badge, and they said that we'd already used our tickets. Didn't. We just went in by mistake and then went to go up to the somebody a badge. Good place to put a hashtag. Wednesday night. Outdoor dining. Chris is ordering.
Ella.
Yeah, when you're sick, you give them that.
Tell us again
So it's
what
very
Pezzi
unique.
Mezzi is.
Yeah,
It's a one-time performance.
phyllo dough made specially here.
Yes. Feta, which you can't
You
find
can't
anywhere.
find anywhere else.
Petit which is a wine reduction until you reach heaven.
And I expect we will.
Yes. And that
Look at all
is-
these others. Now,
it's
we
not like
picked
you have
through
the
that.
saranaki with shrimp or whatever
Picked
it is.
through that.
This is eggplant saranaki. Look, έχει μέσα τι. What? No? Ah, no. Oh, fuck. Good luck explaining this. Give me the menu. Smell it. It's a
Okay, the translation-
Jewish Turkish steak.
Really? Okay.
It's very complicated. It's a very ancient preparation of meat.
Okay.
The word pastrami ultimately comes from it, but this is the origin of pastrami. So the first thing you want to do is you just want to smell this.
Sneeze on it.
With your bird breath.
Oh, it smells like it.
It smells real strong, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the pigs in the blanket.
Pigs in blanket.
Yeah, so this is the origin of pastrami. Mixed together with different cheeses and herbs and other vegetables.
You're just making this up as you
No,
go
no,
along.
it's actually in the menu. I'm just reading the menu. I didn't know the word pastorma, and this is yogurt with sweet quince and basil and
It's
olive
our
oil.
last day, Thursday. We're leaving tomorrow. I just wanted to show you the beautiful lobby of this magnificent hotel.
Grand Britannia.
We're walking to the...
XOXO is out.
Ah. Exhibition showing how Cycladic art influenced Picasso. Main collection, but there's a
5,000 years ago,
really
right?
bad reflection. We're at the cathedral, and Anna says this says,
Aya, on this left is
Yeah.
Saint, and Philothei. Saint Philothei.
the front of the cathedral. I'm looking forward to seeing the mosaics inside. And I are walking down this pedestrian way, and we finally found an old enough church to maybe be a bit. This is really ornate and beautiful. There are antiquities everywhere. This is the Bank of Greece building, but you see the old wall that they've allowed us to.
Olmata είναι Mountain Tea.
Just an idea of the traffic, and this is nothing compared to the big streets. The last night dinner at the Hilton. We're waiting for a couple more guests.
So what do you want?
It's a fish restaurant,
Like that, or do you want
and
dessert?
Chris has chosen appetizers have started to arrive. We have pike coming.
Άμα είναι, είσαι κοκαλιάρης και δεν μπορεί.
We were in Vietnam last week.
And
all
then
sorts of
κουραστεί.
strange and interesting
Appetizers keep coming.
When I was 18, 21.
Infinite appetizers.
True, and then
And then the pike.
A dinner party at our house. A whole bunch of
Richie is
people.
finishing the last of the
Why?
octopus.
What do we do?
That was just extraordinary. The fried zucchini and eggplant.
That's right.
Fabulous
I'm
salad.
sorry. I'm having an apple.
I have everything of this in
apple
Greece.
and
Double.
orange.
Barbouli if you want.
Barbuli?
Not barbuli, barbuni.
You eating it by hand.
How many 3-year-olds would do that?
No man.
This could be maybe our fourth bottle of wine. Another one is being ordered now. And we're waiting for the main, something going on for our entree.
Yeah.
What do we have?
We have cheeks of the both fish. On left and right, two different fish, two different.
Both are pike.
Both pike,
We have the right hand pike and the left hand pike.
obviously.
Να τέτοια γεύση το καλό το ψάρι δεν χρειάζεται.
An absolute feast.
Περίπου.
8 kilometers.
And to cap it all off, just a few desserts. Nothing much. Just a light bite. Our last day, our last breakfast, and we finally get a table on the front row outside. How often does that happen? And the most beautiful view I've ever seen. A great trip. Thank you, Chris and Anna.